judges, parents, and teachers for coming here tonight, as well as the affirmative constructive for debating with us. Tonight, the affirmative is going to try to sway you to the belief that the Keystone XL pipeline will be a positive creation for the United States of America. My name is Bervin-Mueller. I am from the negative constructive, and I will be trying to disprove their proofs. Now I'll begin. My partner, Ms. Neal, and I will be explaining multiple aspects of the negative argument. I will mainly be discussing the economy and energy independence, while my partner, Ms. Neal, is going to discuss the actual creation of the environmental impact. Now, as the affirmative constructive has stated, the KXL pipeline will create jobs and make the United States of America energy independent. However, those jobs will only be temporary, and energy independence is questionable. Due to the failure of the affirmative constructive to define the Keystone XL pipeline, the negative constructive would now like to define it. The Keystone XL pipeline would be a tar sands pipeline that would add 1,897 kilometers to the already standing 3,460 kilometer Keystone pipeline. According to Penn State's Department of Education and Outreach, the pipeline will carry, quote, oil sands or tar sands or bituminous sands, referring to a mixture of sand, water, clay, and bitumen, which we have seen refers to the heaviest of hydrocarbon mixtures found in crude petroleum. The mixture is usually between 1% and 20% bitumen. The U.S. Department of the Interior Bureau of Land Management describes bitumen as, quote, a type of oil sand or sandstone from which the lighter fractions of crude oil have escaped, leaving a residual asphalt to fill the interstices, end quote. As shown on the map that I presented to the judges and to the affirmative constructive, the proposed Keystone XL pipeline would start in Alberta, Canada, make its way through the American Midwest, eventually ending in Houston and Port Arthur, Texas, near the Gulf of Mexico. Furthermore, although the pipeline would allow the U.S. for a short time to become energy independent from the Middle East and oil, the pipeline would not infinitely free us from the oil industry in the Middle East and Asia. As soon as the well drilled up in Canada dries out, where we will have to go back to the Middle East to get more oil. Energy independence can only be achieved in America through renewable resources without risk of running out, such as green energy. Although the affirmative constructive has defined jobs, the negative constructive would like to define a more specific job in regular full-time employees and temporary full-time employees. We take our definitions from the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute, a world-class scientific institute that hires marine biologists and various other scientists. They define regular full-time employees as, quote, scheduled to work 8 hours per day, Monday through Friday, on a regular basis, and are expected to be employed for at least 1 year. Regular full-time employees are eligible for all institution benefits and paid time off, end quote. Temporary full-time employees, quote, are scheduled to work 8 hours per day, Monday through Friday, but are expected to be employed for at least 3 months, but less than 1 year. They are entitled to paid vacation, holidays, sick time, and maternity leave on the same basis as regular full-time employees, end quote. If temporary, benefits, if any, would remain limited. Although jobs created by the Keystone Pipeline are jobs, they are temporary and not careers. Career is the process of managing life, learning, and work over the lifetime. The Keystone XL pipeline does not offer this. Furthermore, the number given by the opposition, 20,000 jobs, is not exactly accurate because it includes all the company workers who will build the steel parts required for the pipeline overseas. This statement is further corroborated by a study done by the Cornell Global Labor Institute that showed that more than 50% of the pipeline will be built overseas. So on, if the pipeline fails to lower gas prices, which it will due to the price of oil refinement, and if the price goes up for even 1 year, all the jobs created will be undone, and that's not even counting the job losses caused by additional fuel costs in the Midwest, pipeline spills, pollution, and the rising costs of climate change. According to TransCanada's own data, just 11% of the construction jobs in the Keystone Pipeline in South Dakota were filled by South Dakotans, most of them for temporary, low-paying manual labor. Researchers at Cornell University and State Department estimate as few as 2,500 jobs and as great as 6,000 jobs. Also, TransCanada and its allies can't seem to keep their numbers straight. The company released a press statement predicting 20,000 jobs. Then, in September of 2010, they claimed 13,000 jobs. 2 months prior to that, a study they commissioned was released predicting 250,000 to over 500,000 jobs. The Republican Party claims up over 100,000 jobs. All these estimates are contradicted by the company's own vice president, Robert Jones, in a CNN interview on November 11, 2011. And I quote, "We're probably looking at, from Montana to Houston, I don't know, job creation in the hundreds," end quote. That's the hundreds, not the half millions, not the thousands, the hundreds. In terms of jobs, if the South Dakota model holds true, then 11% of the 20,000 low-paying manual labor jobs will go to 2,200 locals, and outsourcing will occur for other jobs, which also includes the manufacturing of the pipeline overseas. We, the negative constructive, believe that the Keystone XL pipeline is destructive to the environment, unhelpful to the economy, and poses a threat to the health of the individuals affected by its construction. The negative constructive would now like to stand for cross-examination. Thank you so much.